In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 11, we find one of the more peculiar and symbolic stories in the New Testament, the cursing of the fig tree by Jesus. It is a brief but deeply insightful narrative, rich in meaning and implications, especially regarding faith, judgment, and spiritual productivity. Let's dive into the details of the story, its context, and the lessons that it offers. Setting the scene, it's the final week of Jesus' life on earth, and he is approaching Jerusalem for what will eventually be his crucifixion. The tension between him and the religious authorities is mounting. This story occurs just after Jesus' triumphant entry into the city, an event often referred to as Palm Sunday. In this period, he is traveling with his disciples from Bethany, a small village on the Mount of Olives, into Jerusalem each day. One morning, while on the road, Jesus becomes hungry. This may seem like a simple detail, but it's significant. Even as the Son of God, Jesus shares in the full human experience, including hunger. His need for nourishment becomes the starting point for the lesson that will soon unfold. The fig tree encounter. As Jesus walks with his disciples, he spots a fig tree in the distance. It's full of leaves, indicating that it should have some fruit on it. Fig trees in that region typically bear fruit along with their leaves, so the sight of a lush tree should suggest there's something to eat. However, as they approach the tree, something unusual happens. Upon closer inspection, Jesus realizes that, despite the appearance of health and fruitfulness, the tree is barren. It's all leaves, no figs. Mark makes it clear that it's not the season for figs, which raises an important point. Why would Jesus expect figs when they were out of season? This detail is crucial in understanding the deeper meaning of what comes next. The curse, in a moment that seems out of character for Jesus, who is often associated with mercy, kindness, and miracles of healing, he does something unexpected. He speaks to the tree and says, "May no one ever eat fruit from you again." Mark 11:14. This is not a casual statement, it is a curse. Jesus condemns the tree for its barrenness, and his disciples, witnessing the event, are likely puzzled by the action. At first glance, this might seem harsh. Why curse a tree that wasn't even in season to bear fruit? But this is where we begin to see the symbolic depth of the story. The fig tree represents more than just a plant, it's a metaphor for spiritual fruitfulness and the religious system of the time. The deeper symbolism. To understand the curse, it's essential to know that in the Bible, the fig tree often symbolizes Israel. In this case, the fig tree is a symbol of the religious leaders and the nation's spiritual condition. Just as the tree had an outward appearance of life and health with its leaves, the religious leaders in Jesus' time had an outward appearance of piety and righteousness. They were highly regarded, keeping the law and maintaining traditions. But like the fig tree, they were barren, they produced no spiritual fruit. The curse is a powerful metaphor for the judgment that would soon come upon those who appeared righteous outwardly but were inwardly corrupt and unproductive. Jesus' message was clear: appearances can be deceiving. It's not enough to look fruitful, what matters is bearing real spiritual fruit, the kind that nourishes and benefits others. Clearing the temple immediately after cursing the fig tree, Jesus and his disciples enter Jerusalem, where he goes to the temple. Here, he witnesses the corrupt practices of the money changers and merchants who were exploiting the people coming to worship. This leads to another powerful moment of judgment as Jesus drives out the traders, overturning tables and declaring that the temple should be a house of prayer, not a den of thieves, Mark 11:17. This act in the temple directly parallels the fig tree curse. Just as the fig tree appeared healthy but was barren, the temple, meant to be a place of worship and connection to God, was spiritually barren. It had become a center of exploitation rather than genuine worship. Jesus' actions in the temple and his curse of the fig tree are both acts of divine judgment against systems that look good on the outside but are hollow on the inside. The withered fig tree. The next day, as Jesus and his disciples pass by the same fig tree, they notice something extraordinary. The tree has withered from the roots up, it's completely dead. Peter, astonished by this rapid transformation, points it out to Jesus, saying, "Rabbi, look! The fig tree you cursed is withered." Mark 11:21. The withering of the tree is significant because it wasn't a slow process. The tree died quickly, showing the immediacy of judgment once pronounced. This moment serves as a visual reminder of the power of Jesus' words and the importance of spiritual productivity. It's not enough to appear alive on the surface. True life and growth come from deep spiritual roots that bear fruit. A lesson on faith. After Peter remarks on the withered tree, Jesus uses the opportunity to teach his disciples about faith. He tells them, "Have faith in God. Truly I tell you, if anyone says to this mountain, 'Go, Throw yourself into the sea, and does not doubt in their heart but believes that what they say will happen, it will be done for them. Mark 11:22-23. Here, Jesus shifts the focus from judgment to the power of faith. Just as his words had the power to wither the fig tree, the disciples' faith in God has the power to move mountains. Jesus emphasizes that faith, combined with belief and prayer, can achieve the impossible. But this faith must be genuine and deeply rooted, not just an outward show of religiosity like the fig tree's leaves. The call to spiritual productivity. The story of the fig tree ultimately serves as a warning against hypocrisy and spiritual barrenness. It challenges believers to examine their own lives. Are they bearing fruit, or are they only presenting the appearance of faith without substance? The curse wasn't about figs, it was about the expectation that, just like the tree, we should bear fruit in every season of life, whether through acts of kindness, love, or spiritual growth. In this short but profound narrative, the curse of the fig tree symbolizes the importance of genuine faith, spiritual fruitfulness, and the dangers of hypocrisy. It's a call to live authentically and ensure that our actions match our outward appearance of devotion. The story also highlights the power of Jesus' words and the strength of faith to bring about both judgment and miraculous outcomes. As we reflect on the withering of the fig tree, we are reminded that true spiritual life comes from within, and it is through nurturing our relationship with God and living out our faith that we can bear fruit that lasts.